Give it a second. It's pending. I think you have to hit allow. There might have been something that, okay, now we're good. All right. On behalf of the Frostburg State University Art Department and the Stephanie Ann Roper Gallery here at the Frostburg State Art Department, we would like to welcome Francine Tint, whose work is in the Roper Gallery currently until October 29th, and the gallery hours are Monday through Friday from 1 to 4. And if you really can't make those times, you can always email me, and I would be more than happy to arrange a time for people to come see this show if you can't make those times. So again, on behalf of Frostburg State University, welcome Francine Tint. It's wonderful to see you. You look gorgeous as always.
Oh, great to see you too. You're adorable. Okay, how are you?
I'm great. How's New York?
Oh, it's good. It's warm, and it's my intern's birthday today, so we had a carrot cake in the morning, and we're good to go.
It's Lita's birthday today?
No, it's Beatrice. She's assisting Lita. Lita has an assistant. Plus, I'm spoiling her.
Happy birthday from all of us here in Western Maryland.
Thank
you.
So, Francine, can you tell us about like your upbringing a little? Like, where were you born? What was your home life?
I was born in Brooklyn, and I had an odd home life, which brought me to painting. I had an ill mother that died when I was younger, like 18 or 19. And so I gravitated towards painting, but we didn't have money, so I had to work. So I became a stylist to support painting. And I went to night school. I actually married a painter. And as I said, in those days, it was kind of hard for me to think I should be a painter, you know. He was a painter, but he didn't paint. But anyway, that's kind of started me. To be honest, I went into therapy, and that got me closer to myself. And I got really into painting from there.
As like a therapeutic practice?
Well, no, just finding myself and my own clockwork and me, you know, instead of the marriage, you know, which was not in vogue at those times. You know, it was more about the marriage, but therapy just got me closer to myself. You know, I went in for my marriage and I came out a painter. Yeah.
What a great gift, right?
Yeah, that's right. Gift in the truth.
So what years around is this?
This is late 60s, early 70s. Yeah.
So that's when you started really going for painting.
Yeah, and I committed myself to painting almost like a monk, you know, because actually, Ashley, I worked, I'd say 17, 18 years. I worked during the day and painted at night and weekends. So it was hard. And it was a big boy network. So I sort of wasn't in then, you know, but I did my own thing and did it my way and became, you know, part of the in crowd.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a hard crowd to break into as a woman in the 60s.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Could you tell us a little bit about your stylist career briefly? I remember when we first met, you had told me about it, and I was like, wow, this is like super fascinating.
People think it is. And a costume designer too. For David Bowie, I did the costumes. It's exciting. It's hard work, and it's very different from painting, which is my skin. It's dealing with a lot of people. You're dealing with actors. I've worked with Sammy Davis Jr., Zero, Mastel, you name it. And, you know, you're pleasing them, which I wound up doing well. And, you know, you have a big crowd. You have a director, you have a producer, and then when you're on set, you have a lot of people, you have a cameraman. It's a very different situation. You can often be on one of the buses with 20 actors at the time. You know, it's a real bustle.
Would you say there was a lot of artistic freedom in that position, or you were kind of restricted?
I would say both. I would say both. They hired me for my ability, but you're really in a mold, you know. You have to please, and you have to, you know, present what's asked for, really, you know. David Bowie was great because he was very trustworthy. I said to him, you know, I'll meet you on the set. And for a fitting, he said, no, no, I know a professional and I'll meet you on the set. He was very busy and, you know, he trusted.
So David Bowie was a good guy.
Great guy.
So
Great.
let everyone know David Bowie was actually a great guy.
Yes, yes, he was very, very cool. And you know who else was, believe it or not, Bob Hope.
Really?
Yeah, they both paid for their costumes, and clothes were very important to their sets, and they both paid out of their pocket, and they were very open and adaptive to, you know, giving me a lot of freedom. Yeah.
So painting was definitely your passion over that.
Oh God, yes, yes, yes. And I did learn painting. You want to hear the little story how I did it?
Yeah, sure.
In a bar. So the Cedar Bar was very popular, and I had a roommate. I was really young, and I said, I want to live near the Cedar Bar so I could learn art. So we lived across the street. And then Max's Kansas City opened up long before your time. It was a famous art bar, and every artist went. So there was Bryce Marden, there was Larry Poons, Frank's. I mean, you name every artist was there. And actually, that's how I really started meeting the artists, you know, because I never went in a formal way to school. I went night schools. So.
So you met a lot of your connects at art bar.
That's right. I did. And then I'll tell you the story about Clem. Do you know how to turn the air on? You just turn it once in the middle.
No, too hot in New York.
Today it is.
Yesterday it was 75 degrees in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Crazy, yeah. It's been 75, 80. I love your hanging sculpture.
Over there?
Yeah.
Oh, I had, honestly, when I first moved here, you know, as a sculptor and as an artist, maybe for painting it's easier, maybe not for your size of painting.
Right,
but,
not for my size.
For someone who does installation sculpture, and you know, you have a small family, such as mine, my dog and my wife.
Your wife.
You know, I could only bring so much stuff from Florida, and if I wanted to bring all my sculpture, it would have been the whole U-Haul. So I threw it all in the dump, and I moved here and I didn't really have any materials. And I remember I got this office at the university, and the only thing that was in here was clipboards, which are what those are on the wall. And I said, what can I make out of these clipboards? So I said, well, I'll just paint some boobs on them and cut them out, I guess.
Grammy's part of it. Oh, this my cat is scratching. Sorry to interrupt you.
I know, I couldn't.
Can you give him to me? I'll take him.
Yeah.
Here.
Oh my God, you know?
Here he is.
Oh, he's beautiful.
Yeah. Remy Martin Tint.
Remy Martin. It's a good choice.
Nice to meet you, Remy.
Oh my gosh. I've never seen. It's like a dog, this cat.
Yes, he's Burmese. You got it. He's like a dog. He really likes attention, and that's why I got him. He fetches. He's like a dog. Look at this. Showing. He gets jealous.
Oh my God.
I love him. You need a portrait painted of your cat.
Yeah, Lita.
I know, Lita does great paintings.
Yeah, she's going to portrait him now.
This is so cute. It's like a school picture.
Yeah. Take a photo
Yeah.
of it. So now he's looking at me. He gets jealous.
This makes my day right here. I love animals.
Yes, it's me too. Look at this. Oh my God, Remy.
So I also read that Clement Greenberg owned one of your pieces, and it's currently in the Greenberg collection.
Yes, which is now in the Portland Museum since Greenberg passed. And that was a funny story. I sent Greenberg my slides, the generation of slides.
Mhm.
And he wrote me back, I must frame it. And he wrote, I don't like slides. I mean, it's, who could blame anybody? Because slides, you don't know if something is 100 inches long or 2 inches. He said, but yours look promising. And I will be in New York in September and visit your studio. And he did. And of course, I was a stylist. And Remy's very jealous. Maybe put him in. And he's going to bite me. You've been bleeding. You better hold him. So he gets jealous. He's a boy and he gets jealous. So he came in September. I was a stylist then. And this is funny. I said to my shrink, I was working on the day they picked. Of course, they didn't ask me. They said, Mr. Greenberg will be in Tuesday and we'll see you at 1 o'clock or whatever the time was. And of course, I was working on set. And so I said to my shrink, I said, what can I do? He said, well, just say somebody died. I mean, this is much too important, So I got a wardrobe person on set, and that was the first time in my studio. And he came to my studio for 13 years. I was really lucky. And he was very, very cool. Nothing what people say, and not like 9th Street women, and not a lot of that stuff. I mean, he was an old-fashioned guy who drank hard, of that generation. But actually, he was great in the studio.
I heard a rumor about good old Clem that he used to keep like gin in a bottle and like drink it. Is that true?
Oh, he drank it. Yeah, he drank everything. I don't know about in a bottle, but yeah, I mean, I always had some drink or something when he came to the studio. Actually, when he came to me, he was drunk, and I said to myself, oh my God, I lost out on the second appointment or something. No way, Jose. His eyes perked up, and actually I had a 4,000 square foot studio, and I had something on the very end while I was waiting for him that I just did with a rag and some bottom drips. And he said, what's that? His eye focused all the way to the end, and I named the painting While Waiting, and it was great. It was a piece on paper. There's a lot of rumors, but I mean, I know about his drinking and girls, but never with me. Never with me.
Well, I mean, that's good to hear.
Oh, it is. It is. He said that to me. He said that.
A lot of Greenberg's work, obviously, and and for people who don't know who he is, could you explain maybe to the viewers who don't know who Clement Greenberg is?
They don't, unless they should read art in criticism and things that you read. He was a great critic, and it's the man that they love to hate, but he actually discovered Frankenthaler and Pollock, and that was a lot. And those two painted off of the easel. Pollock was the first to be cropping painting, so he had the freedom of a big painting and not an edge, and then to crop it afterwards. He was like the first to do the sand painting, and Greenberg found him, discovered him, and I mean, these are two greats. She took the color, and Pollock had the energy. I don't have to say Pollock, but people don't know even Frankenthaler, and they don't know Greenberg. You studied, so you read him. His writing is excellent.
It was always either Greenberg or Friedman. Take your pick.
Oh, yeah. And then the other one was that Rosenberg.
Was it Friedman or is it just Fried? Now I'm like getting things confused.
Michael Fried? Are you talking about Michael?
Sorry, I was like thinking of Frankenthaler in my head, so then I just added extra letters to it. Sometimes you're like thinking of things, you're like, la la la. There's like a lot of things going on in there.
At your age,
I know.
At my age, they just disappear. It's called storage, It's like,
sometimes I wish mine would disappear.
I was in a workshop. and Michael Fried was one of the critics.
Fried and Greenberg, both their writings are really great.
Yes.
Typically people either like one or the other, but I like
Yeah.
them both.
Me too. Me too. Me too.
So he owned, sadly now, you know, he has passed, but he did own and is now in a permanent collection of his, you know.
Right. In the museum there. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. And he was a nice guy. So what are you currently doing? Or things you're working on?
Behind you, I don't know if they could see it. Maybe Leader or somebody will move it around. Can you move it around?
Wow, the colors on that are beautiful.
Yeah, they're pretty current now, funky colors. Does it work that way?
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Thank you.
That's a very large painting, it looks.
Yeah, it is. It's not even that big for me. It's 80 inches long.
80, that's still a pretty big painting.
It is big, yeah, yeah. And it's not stretched. It's tacked on the wall, and there's one tacked on the floor too. You want to show her the floor one?
Show you the floor painting.
That's a beautiful piece too. Your studio is a work of art alone.
Oh, that is absolutely. I once said, "Come into my womb" instead of "come into my room" by mistake. It's a good Freudian mistake.
When you get that retrospective in like MoMA or the Met at some point, it'll just be the plastic from your studio as well.
The room, listen, people would like the room a lot more sometimes, you know, that's au courant. The room is great. When you visit, Ashley, you'll see it.
Yeah.
I have to visit. I have to.
Yep.
Maybe I have to drive up to Northern New York this November. I don't know if I have time to stop in Manhattan, but I'll see how much time I have. You know, for Thanksgiving, have to go see the family.
Oh, the family. Yeah. Yeah. That's the family.
Always got to go see them. Actually, I haven't been home for Thanksgiving in 4 years.
Well, because you had COVID and moving, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I was in Florida. The drive from Florida to New York is just too much.
It's a lot. It is.
And then flying, you know, I have to have someone watch my dog, and I don't trust a lot of people. You know how it is.
Oh, yeah. Nothing is. And now I'm going to Bermuda a few days and fill out forms and forms with the test and everything. It's not like you're going to California or Florida.
Yeah, it's been a crazy time.
Yeah, we know that.
So are there any interesting prospects that are coming up for you?
Well, I have a show at this gallery, not my own show. It's a group of women artists at Zerker. She's on Bleecker Street and she's been published a lot. So that's in May. And I have a couple other things pending. So it's a good time. Yeah.
So do you think COVID, in regards to your work and maybe your like practice, do you think it helped you or do you think it was hard?
Well, you know, to admit my life didn't change too much. I'm embarrassed to say.
That's not embarrassing.
I had an assistant that worked for Larry Poons and she lived a few blocks from me. My partner, my guy, was helping me put up the big paintings. I mean, it tampered. You couldn't have an art store. It had to be, you know, but I managed and she came and she helped me and I continued. And I got into a couple of drawing challenges. That's a Jason McCoy. It's a gallery. Actually, it's a nephew of Jackson Pollock. And they were doing this special thing, a drawing challenge at the time of COVID. And I had 3 shows that were booked for years and they came at that time. It did hurt though. I had a solo show in Boston at Chase Gallery and people couldn't go, you know, it hurt. It hurt. That happened. And then I had one in Bridgehampton. I actually had one in Alabama. You know, it was tough. I couldn't go. And yeah.
It was definitely
a time.
It was sad not to see you here. I don't know if you would have ventured down.
I would have actually, I actually had it in my mind, but to just pop around now, easily is not, it's not the same. Yeah.
So this is a little off topic. Your partner is he an artist?
Not at all. No, I married one years ago and he didn't even work. As I said, no, I stayed away. I need an opposite.
What does he do, if you don't mind me
He's
asking?
in business. No, he's in real estate business.
Good for him. I mean, real estate has been very good for the
Yeah.
last year.
Well, now, but with COVID, it's picking up, but it got dead in COVID. It got killed. They were giving places away, studios and offices.
Yeah, in New York, because everyone was moving out of New York, eh?
There was nobody in New York, Ashley. No, people moved out of their apartments. No, real estate plunged. It really went down.
I know in northern New York, where my family lives, they couldn't keep anything on the market because a lot of people were moving from New York City to the Adirondacks.
Right.
To, be in nature, be away from people. So they couldn't keep anything.
Are they in real estate?
So I have a couple friends in real estate, and they were just telling me, like, people were paying double the amount cash for some, like, second homes in the Adirondacks.
It was a good opportunity to, you take a picture with this. Yeah. It was a good opportunity for people to get things, if they were willing to. I have a loft, which you'll see when you come to. It's complete opposite of this, leader's in charge of it there, but it's very, very immaculate, and it's different. It's very different.
So you have your studio, which you're in now. Is that part of the house where you live?
No, it's an apartment. It's a little penthouse, and my studio is a few blocks away. And so we carry the paintings down and then stretch it there. It's a different
So it
setup.
must not be that far.
It's not far, really.
It's like 1:50.
Good.
Do people ever, like, look at you strangely walking down? I mean, it's New York, so people don't notice anything, but.
No. It's what time? 1:50.
1:15.
Oh, good. They, no, I remember a little pony went into Max's Kansas City and nobody even looked around. It was like nothing, it's like for a staging, and actually John Legend bought the apartment, not my painting, but people were all asking, it was stretched, and they were all asking about the painting, we were just carrying it down the street like nothing,
It's fine. New York, it's a great.
Yeah, in the Village too, it's different. Yeah, and Brooklyn now.
I know I haven't. This is really embarrassing for me to say that I have actually never ventured into Brooklyn.
Well, Brooklyn is in. It used to be. Now it's like Brooklyn artist. It used to be dreadful, and now it's like. Brooklyn artists advertising it, I grew up in Brooklyn, so I don't, I don't go there.
But I
it
have
is.
ones that have a moped store in Brooklyn.
Oh, yeah.
But I've sadly never been there or to Brooklyn. Sorry, people from New York. I mean,
Yeah, Brooklyn. The two ladies are from Brooklyn here. But you're so busy being a sculptor, a curator, a professor. I mean, who has time?
I don't know.
I don't have much time either,
No, I mean.
Well, but, it's good to fill your time up with something that's meaningful and keeps you busy, and that's it. You don't know where the time goes, but you don't have to sit and worry.
It goes by fast.
Yeah.
Already in my 30s, it's just downhill.
Oh, poor thing. Oh my God, you're all babies.
And I have a twin, so if I die, at least there's her.
Oh, you have a twin. That's right. You mentioned that. Yeah.
I'm sure she's going to watch this too, so.
Okay. What does she do, Ashley, if I may ask?
She is a manager at a local food co-op in my hometown, and she's also an artist. She's a printmaker, painter.
Oh, so she's in
gardens.
the art.
She's a War of 1812 reenactor with her husband.
Oh.
Lita has also met my sister. And then my younger sister is actually in grad school for painting and sculpture in Southern Illinois.
Wow, you have a painterly family, artist family. That's great.
Well, my mom, sorry if you're watching this, Mom, but my mom was a lunch lady at my high school for maybe like 20 years.
Oh my God.
And my dad was retired after, I don't know how long he was there, maybe like 35 years, something like that. He worked at a maximum security prison.
Wow. Well,
So-
we're different than our parents. My father was a bookmaker, which makes me different. Or, you know, it's a very freewheeling kind of field. And my mother really wasn't around a lot. She was ill. So we are who we are, you know.
Nothing better.
Yeah, that's true. That's it. Yeah, we are.
So Francine, if there was some advice you wanted to give art students that you think is like the most important advice for them to know, what do you think that would be?
Well, first you have to know it's tough to begin with, you know. It's different than even school. And then unless you have wealthy parents, you have to find a way to support it. And assistants are good because it's sort of hands-on. You get to see the whole, you know, shebang from inside. But there's not that many of those jobs. And also, to be honest with you, I had just interviewed before at Leader. There's not that many painters anymore. Honestly, they're not. Their graphics, their performance. It's hard to make a living, and they just don't have it in schools. Unfortunately, really. I mean, I had smart kids that, you know, and they were illustrators, lots of stuff, but not a lot of painters. But I think, you know, you'd have to know first it's tough, and hopefully find some kind of assisting job or something, you know, a lot of waitresses.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, before I did this, I was actually a chef at restaurants until
Well, chef is good, but
until I
waitressing,
got here.
the thing about waitressing, it's very taxing, and then you're really kind of tired to do your work. I have found, because I've had assistants for years, maybe 45 years, because the paintings have been big and they've stretched them. And they always felt that it inspired their painting, you know, gave them energy. It didn't take away. I mean, I don't know, you know, that's what I was told. I mean, waitressing, you're pleasing the help, and, you know, people sitting down and demanding everything under the sun. I think a chef is more interesting.
I wouldn't. I was more of a glorified cook, but it's what I did to, you know, get myself through school. It's what I've always done.
Oh, really? Yeah. So, yeah, you had to get through school. Yeah. And I went to night school. So I didn't have the same camaraderie, you know, like the 4 years in school. So I kind of did it in my own way. I didn't do it in the whatever is normal. There's no normal. But, you know, I painted and I worked during the day.
And if you, this is not really so much art related, but if
Okay.
you had to recommend the perfect place in New York to get a cup of coffee, where would it be?
Well, now I don't drink coffee because it affects my sleep. There's Starbucks all over the world.
I mean, Starbucks is a pretty solid choice. What about restaurants? What's the best restaurant you think someone has to go to in New York?
Oh my God, God help me, guys, can you?
You like Madman coffee, right?
Yeah, Mad Men. Yeah, it's owned by a crazy Italian, and and then there's Mamen, a French place that opened up, and they both have really good coffee. One is French and one is Italian. I guess maybe they know what they're doing. And
Let's hope
thanks.
so.
Mad Men. He's real kooky Italian guy, and he's a photographer. but he has really good coffee. But this is downtown, I don't really know uptown what place, a fancy place or anything. No.
What about a restaurant that you like to go to?
Restaurant? Lafayette. It's on Lafayette Place. I like Il Buco. They're Spanish Italian. They're small. I mean, not small, but not like famous, which I don't know what's famous anymore. I did take my partner to La Bernardine for his birthday. And that was, I saved pennies for a year. That was over the top. It's all seafood, which is my favorite. And we had a tasting and it was great. It was great.
It was worth it?
Yes, it was. It was. I mean, even though you just indulge in it, we had a great seat, and watching the waiters and waitresses and not even waitresses move, it was like theater. I mean, it was hours, and it really was like theater. It was very, very comfortable. It's not something you do every day, but I'd say it was. Yeah, I have to say. It was an experience enough for me to smile when you asked me now. You're getting ready for New York? We'll take you.
One of these days I'll go. Sorry, the Wi-Fi sometimes, technology.
Oh, not me. I have geniuses here. I don't know any technology. I think Remy knows it more than me. He sits on the computer.
I wouldn't say I'm much better, to be honest.
You'd have to be though, right now?
I try.
Yeah.
And I guess lastly, if you had, what's the best memory you have that you'll never forget about your art career?
Well, my first show, it was in Chelsea before Chelsea was anything. And thousands of people came. I worked in the film industry and artists came, and the elevator was shaking. It was like, it was really a high for me. It was really, really exciting. And it was an earlier time too. It's different. It's different. Changing the subject for a minute, I do workshops at the Art Students League. I'm going to do one soon. I didn't because of COVID. But am I taking it away too much from your last question?
No.
Because they let me I show my paintings, and I kind of demonstrate a painting, a smaller one, how I do it. And I have my assistant set up some of the JPEGs. What's the word that you put in to show on the screen? Yeah, JPEGs. Huh?
PowerPoint?
Yeah, PowerPoints, yeah. And, they ask some questions, and then they do what they want to do. And it's been good. And I have a waiting list. They're very excited, and I never thought I would even teach, although I've lectured too.
Well, that's great.
Yeah. I'm involved in art, I would say, lock, stock, and barrel. Really, I eat it. I sleep it. Technology is a different world, but I have help for that. I can't absorb everything. I'd rather think of the important things.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's important, but I'm addicted to the computer enough, I think.
I know. All the things on the computer,
Yeah. It's like you just do one thing and then you lead to another, and and then I said, what am I doing? I'm on this too long now.
And you're on Netflix watching Great British Baking, and it just goes on and on.
That's the world.
I don't know if you watch Netflix or not, Francine.
I don't have a television or anything. I really read a lot. I didn't read as a kid. I was very hyper and nervous. And I read a couple of books a month or a week, No, my partner has Netflix and he has big screens, and I always say I'm going to do this and that. Unless it's something important, I don't. Have you seen, it is Netflix, The Price of Everything and Art? Oh, you got it.
I don't believe I have, but I'm going to write it down.
Price of Everything. I'll mail it to you, email it. It's the art world, and it is really, really good. It's really good.
Yeah, I'll definitely check it out.
Yeah.
And then I guess, well, I thought that was going to be my last question, but I guess to end things up, I can't even talk today. See, this is what happens when you teach a class. You're like, bleh, all your words are gone.
Okay.
I guess if there was another artist that you met, who would be like the nicest artist that you met throughout your career?
Well, Larry Poons is the craziest, but he was the nicest, and he was really one of my mentors. I mean, I'd say him and Clem. He gave me this writer that I met at a gallery, and I didn't know him, a very odd duck person. And he came over to me and he said, Larry Poons told me to visit your studio, and if he says it, I'm going to run, And he came down, and yeah, so I would say, this goes really way back. He was the most helpful and not fearing anything, because he didn't have anything to fear like other people do. They're insecure. And actually the writer had said to me, well, I've been going to studios for 10 years. How come nobody mentioned you?
And how come you think no one mentioned you?
Well, I don't want to say, but guesses here.
Okay. That's okay. You don't have to answer. Some things are better left unsaid.
Yeah. Well, I'm recognized at Frostburg. You got a bunch of nice ones, so that's good.
Yeah, I mean, we really do have a great department here, and
that way
we care about our students a lot, and we try to do the best for them.
That's great. That's great. Yeah.
To build the future of great artists.
Well, that's good. That doesn't hurt.
Mm-hmm. Well, Francine, it has been an absolute pleasure. It's always great to see you, and hopefully, thank you. And hopefully I will see you in Manhattan at some point soon. If not this fall, then in the summer for sure.
Definitely. We'll sit on the terrace.
I know I need a good view of New York. I've only ever seen the skyline, I think, from this hotel I was staying at in Little Korea.
Oh, yeah, Little Korea. Doesn't matter. You want to say bye to my little ladies here? Come.
Yeah, sure.
Come on the other side, Lita.
Bye.
Happy birthday again.
Thank you so much.
Can you repeat your name for us?
Beatrice.
Beatrice, where are you from?
I'm from Italy.
Oh, cool. Amazing. And
Yeah.
Lita, we've known each other for quite some years now. People who don't know, Lita and I actually went to undergrad together in Northern New York.
Oh.
That she was Francine's assistant. I found that out afterwards. So it was honestly such a small world.
That's small. That's right. 6 degrees of separation. I found that out. I looked it up today. It is. It's supposed to be. It's meant to be. It's the way it's supposed to be. I always say that. Yeah. Well, I'm here anytime. I love being interviewed, or I'm always fearful, and then I just get right with it. So
Well,
thank you.
Yeah, thank you for taking the time again, and thank you, Beatrice, and thanks, Lita. And we hope to talk to y'all again soon. It's nice to meet you too. And please come see Francine's show in the Roper Gallery up until October 29th. So make sure to check it out, and thank you again. I will see you all later. Bye now.
Bye.
Bye.